everybody.
Hi, guys. Well, from smoggy Salt Lake.
It's Salt Lake City.
Yeah, sure. I don't have to say the city part if I don't want to.
It's Thank God I'm Atheist,
The podcast.
I'm Frank Feldman.
And I'm Dan Beecher.
And coming up today, we're going to be talking about art and religion and boundaries and what's acceptable, not acceptable.
What is okay to do in art?
Hint, it's all okay, but we're going to talk about that.
Spoiler alert! Yeesh! Giving it away.
No, there's details. There's things. There's stuff
things
that people have done.
Oh,
that are wonderful examples of
pissing people off.
Mainly pissing people off.
Mainly pissing people off. If your art don't piss nobody off, is it art at all? I don't know.
I say, yeah.
Yeah, it can be. Sure.
Yeah.
Art doesn't have to piss anybody off. But it can.
It can.
Sure can.
All right, Dan.
Yeah, what?
I have the story of a town in the UK.
Ooh, fancy.
That
is it a village?
It is a village.
Can we call it a village?
It's actually a story of one of their churches.
Okay.
In the town. It's called the International Church.
Oh.
And it's this little independent thing, and somebody came up with the idea, hey, let's do a big show.
Oh, great.
Right? Like let's have a show. Let's put on a musical.
Oh, they always want to do that.
Let's tell the story of Adam and Eve through song, dance, acting, and story.
Oh, I hope this is going where you're telling where I think it might be going.
So the whole concept just starts to build.
Yeah.
And snowball.
Sure.
It turns into an arena-sized show.
What?
Yes.
Wow.
They hire stars.
Oh my.
Such as tenor Russell Watson. I don't know who that is.
No, me neither.
Might mean something.
We're not up on our British tenors.
Yeah, exactly. And West End actor Carrie Ellis. They were brought on board. There was a cast list of 30 people.
Wow.
They had equity. This was all equity, like actors' equity type stuff.
Sure.
The unions.
They're going
working
pro.
with agents.
They're doing pro.
They're paying everybody.
Sure.
Rate and maybe then some.
Well, I mean, if it's anything like here,
yeah,
the number of seats in your house are kind of what determine things. So if you're doing a stadium, woo, they're paying bucks.
Paying a lot. Well, in addition to going £2.6 million in debt,
okay,
they somehow squeezed £500,000 out of their not very wealthy parishioners.
Jeez.
Well, actually more than that, to be honest. Because
please tell me that this is just one of those.
No, yes, it's half a £500,000 collectively between everyone. So former churchgoer Yasika Oakley, 34, said her family donated thousands of dollars toward the church's project.
Yeah.
Let's see. There was also the story of an 80-year-old woman, Audrey Baradal. She was asked to take 3,000 pounds of savings out and give it to the church. They actually drove her to the bank.
Oh, my God.
In order to facilitate this.
Of course they did.
There was somebody lost their home because they basically mortgaged their home to give all the money to the church so they could do this big show.
Right. Well, so basically this is one of those classic examples of a religious group, like probably one religious leader being too big for his britches and thinking, oh, I can totally do this. Nobody's thought of this before. I am going to blow everyone's mind and make a fortune at the same time.
But they didn't involve any professional
producers,
theater people.
No.
Right. On the production side, on the behind the scenes, on the business side. Right.
No.
They hired the onstage talent.
Right. Because that's what they can see is the big thing.
And they think, well, these things, they're It's just, how hard could it be?
How hard could it be? It's a no-brainer. A, it's super easy to produce a show, and B, everybody will come.
Yeah.
Nobody's ever produced a show about Adam and Eve before.
Right. So, apparently, the whole thing fell apart 3 weeks before curtain call.
Oh.
Just absolutely just fell apart.
They had been throwing money at this thing.
Uh-huh.
I want to know who loaned them the money for this, because that is a stupid-ass loan.
I know.
But wait, what was the name of the town?
Let me pull it up. Let's see. Where are we?
Anyway.
I don't know the name of the
town. It doesn't
matter.
It's
the village of Mansfield Woodhouse.
Oh, my. Well, clearly known for their major stadium productions.
Well, it was booked to go on a 6-month tour, and it was going to be at venues across the country, including Wembley Arena and the Motor Point arenas in Nottingham and Cardiff. Wow! So I mean, these people they were going for it,
and then it just didn't go,
and then it fell the fuck apart.
Wow!
Like they just ran out of money.
How much you want to bet he paid himself? Whoever this guy is,
yeah,
he got paid.
Probably.
Well, I'm executive producer. Of course I'm going to get paid.
Yeah,
I guarantee it.
Well, they have said they are sorry. So
that's nice of them to say that they're sorry. Guess who gets their money back? The banks.
Yeah.
Guess who doesn't get their money back?
These poor people.
These suckers.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know. That's really sad.
That's really sad. Well, I'm going to cheer us up then.
Please do.
With a story, this story is kind of on the fringes of our general subject matter because it doesn't technically involve a religion.
Oh.
What it involves is woo. And you and I will report on woo occasionally. And this is because it gets religious. You know what I'm saying? Like, if a lot of times people's belief in their own brand of woo, whatever it is, whatever they latch onto, is might as well be religious because they don't care about what any experts in any fields say. They just believe this thing. Well, a gentleman going by the name of what's his name? Young. Robert. Is it Robert Young? Robert O. Young.
Okay.
Who basically has founded an empire based on telling people that all of their health problems are associated with the acidity of their body.
Oh yeah. No, that's true.
You may have heard this.
No. Yeah,
he wrote.
That's a real thing.
Wrote the book The pH Miracle. Balance your diet, reclaim your health.
Yeah. You don't want to be too acidic.
No.
You don't want to be too basic.
Oh, well, he's all about an alkaline diet.
Oh, is he?
All about an alkaline diet.
I'm more about balance.
No. You want to be you want to take it all the way down, apparently. Well, this leads, as all of these claims do. You know, it doesn't matter if you're into kale or if you're into fucking
I love kale.
Whatever the hip thing, some sort of, young living herbal supplement replacement, whatever, blah blah blah. Whatever you're into, eventually someone's going to claim it cures your cancer.
Oh no, I believe that.
Well, one Don Caley, I don't know how you say it, in 2015 was a cancer patient in San Diego County, or at least that's where she sued. She was a cancer patient. She was told that if she just followed this guy's plan, cancer will go away. And so she did follow this guy's plan. And now she has stage 4 cancer and months to live.
No.
So she sued.
Good.
Because
she should.
She's got kids to feed.
He's making health promises.
She's got 4 children, and she was yes. And in this case, the good news is the lawsuit they found in her favor.
Oh, good.
And she was awarded $105 million.
Holy crap!
Which, damn,
Wow.
yeah, that is not a small sum of money.
Wow.
Yeah,
So-
which was more than she asked for.
Right.
But the jury wanted to send a message, apparently.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, these charlatans out there. I mean, they're just modern day snake oil salesmen.
Yeah. It's amazing to me that we still have this, but it is a rampant thing. Yeah. And boy, once somebody latches on, I've got people, I got friends, good friends, not good friends, friends though, people that I like on my Facebook feed, who are constantly like shilling something like this.
Oh, absolutely. Some of the nicest, best people out there, right, have just fallen for, somebody's weird claim.
Somebody will be like,
this is half the economy of Utah.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, because we do
propped
have
up by multi-level marketing companies.
Right, companies
With
that claim
dubious claims.
Yeah, exactly. USANA and Young Living and all these companies that have either essential oils that are going to save you,
Some crazy ass fruit from Tahiti.
right, exactly.
That tastes like baby vomit.
Right.
I don't know what baby vomit tastes like. I
Yes,
just
you
assume.
do. You've tried it. You wouldn't. You didn't just pull that out of thin air. But all of these things that make. Well, first of all, they don't make any claims. They're very careful. The companies are generally very careful not to make any claims of any kind of health thing. But whoever's selling them sure does.
Right.
And it's like, you know what? And then, you see the post on Facebook, and it's like, don't trust big pharma.
Right.
Don't take a chemical.
No.
Eat this thing.
Yeah.
Eat my magnesium supplement.
Yeah. We're talking.
Don't eat chemicals.
No.
Eat magnesium.
There you go.
Eat whatever.
Right. Yeah, I know. Like, it's disturbing. I'm really glad that this jury went that direction.
Yeah, so my hope is that this will send a wave of terror.
That poor woman, though.
Yeah.
How long before she realized that she was duped? Does the story...
Doesn't really go into that, but she filed the...
Does it say what stage she was when she started? Like, was she essentially... If she had gone through a traditional medical... course of action, right? She'd gone to her local cancer treatment center.
Yeah.
Did she actually stand a chance?
I believe she did. I think that's the whole point, is that she had been advised to do chemotherapy and traditional treatments.
And that's hard to hear. That's hard. Like, somebody says, we're going to have to make you very, very, very sick, and you're going to be miserable in order to save your life. Right. Like, that's a hard thing to hear.
Yeah. And it's, chemo it's like a blunt instrument.
Yeah.
You're using a club to try and beat this thing out of yourself. It
works.
But it works.
Yeah.
And it's the only thing that works in a lot of cases.
Yeah.
So far.
Well, there's the thing my dad was on.
Yeah. Magic. He was on magic.
Well, you talk to them. Yeah. The priesthood blessing is what pushed him over.
Yeah.
But he's 100% cured.
Well, that's good.
From stage 4 cancer.
Great.
Unreal.
Yeah,
Anyway.
that's amazing.
All right.
What do you got?
I have a little story about an American hate group.
Oh, I hate those.
I do too.
We should start a group about it.
This is the Liberty Council.
Oh, yes.
It's an evangelical nonprofit that opposes gay rights, specifically. It's on the Southern Poverty Law Center's hate group list.
Opposing gay rights is a good way to get on that list.
Yeah. So there was a bill that passed the Senate about sometime last month, back in December. That it's a I don't know. I didn't even hear about this. It was the Justice for Victims of Lynching Act.
Oh, wow.
The sponsors of the bill. Let's see, the Senate's 3 black members. So Cory Booker, Kamala Harris, and Tim Scott. They introduced the bill last June.
Okay.
They included language to make lynchings a federal crime. If the crime was if the lynchings were motivated by a victim's actual or perceived religion, national origin, gender, sexual orientation, gender identity, or disability. So they cast a wide net with this law in order to address the horrid, awful act of lynching minority groups as a thing. And it's not just, they're not just killing the person, they're also trying to intimidate the community.
Right. And that's what separates this kind of hate crime from just sort of a murder of passion or whatever.
Well, these people at the Liberty Council don't like the idea that the bill included LGBTQ people. That's just terrible.
Well, why can't we kill a gay?
Well, we want to be able to lynch them.
Wait,
like, why should that be?
I get we can't kill a black, but why can't we kill a gay?
I know. Essentially, this is someone from this group. The old saying, this is what he has to say. The old saying is, once that camel gets the nose in the tent, you can't stop them from coming the rest of the way in.
Yeah, what we don't want is the LGBTQ community getting their nose in the not being hate crimed tent.
I know.
Then they'll just assume that that they have the right not to be hate crimed in general.
Yeah. This is just disgusting.
Get your nose out of the tent, Frank.
Oh my! I'm already in the tent. The law passed.
Get your camel nose out of my
Actually,
tent.
I don't know if it's law or anything yet, but but yeah.
Okay. Well, great Liberty Council.
That's out there. Liberty Council's suing over that.
Thanks,
or no,
guys.
they're not suing. They're asking for a bill to be passed that would take that, that would remove the bill's sexual orientation and gender identity language. And there was the other thing.
What a hill to die on. What an awesome hill to die on.
Oh, yeah. They've also encouraged Congress back in November to remove language about sexual orientation, gender identity, discrimination from that most recent trade agreement with Mexico and Canada. Apparently there was some stuff in there about that.
Yeah.
And they don't like that either. Like,
yeah.
You know what? Like,
I guarantee that was Canada's edition. Canada was like, hey, let's throw in some protections for the gay folk, eh?
And the whole thing went through.
Yeah.
And now they're all pissed off about it.
Yeah, they are livid.
Horrible.
What is with this rights for people who want to have sex different than me?
I know.
I don't get it.
I don't know.
No good. Right. Well, in the fine tradition that I've established on this particular episode of the show, I'm going to yum your yuck again, once more, by giving good news to all your bad news.
Great.
No, really, I'm being serious.
Okay.
This is a story about so the United Methodist Church. They have they have called an emergency meeting, not an emergency meeting. They've called a big meeting to discuss the national church's view on inclusion of LGBTQ Christians.
Oh, the Methodists.
The Methodists. They have been sort of, going back and forth on what to do.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to have a big meeting about it. And a group of presidents of the Methodist colleges in the country have all signed a letter.
Oh.
Calling for full enfranchisement of the gay folk.
No.
Here, I'll read you the language. This is from a 3-paragraph statement, unanimously approved in a vote by the National Association of Schools and Colleges of the United Methodist Church. They say, "We call upon the leaders of the United Methodist Church at this 2019 called General Conference to honor the past and current practices of inclusion." I guess they've been inclusive. I don't know. It strikes me as funny. By amending their policies and practices to affirm full inclusion in the life and ministry of the United Methodist Church of all persons, regardless of their race, ethnicity, creed, national origin, gender identity / expression, or sexual orientation.
Whoa.
They went the whole enchilada.
Yeah, they did.
So there you go. I don't know how that will come about. Does that necessarily mean that that's how they'll vote? No.
Right.
But
this is they're discussing it.
Yeah, 93 affiliated schools serving more than 260,000. They affirmed that all of the schools themselves honor all students of and professors of all gender orientations, sexualities, etc.
Interesting. The Methodists.
So there you go. The special session is called for late February in St. Louis.
Nice.
And who knows? Maybe they'll actually, have gay clergy and honor gay marriages, which is not something that they do, but maybe they will. This is meant to settle it once and for all. I think they're going to have an arm wrestling thing.
So there is method in their madness.
Oh, because they're Methodists. See what you did?
All right, Dan.
Yeah.
There's something that people do when they go to Rome.
Okay.
There's an old tradition. You go to the Trevi fountain.
Yeah.
And you throw...
You pee in it.
No, that'd be disgusting.
Oh.
You throw a coin over your shoulder, backward into the fountain.
Right.
And this is... It means that you will be able to visit the city. You'll visit the city again.
Oh, okay.
It's not about making a wish.
No.
Right? I don't know if people go and make a wish or not, but the tradition is that this will guarantee your return back to the city.
Sure.
Sometime in the future.
Worked for you.
Yeah, I went back. So the fountain collects up about 1.5 million euros every year.
Holy shit! People want to go back to that city.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you go to this spot. Right. It's a huge fountain. Right?
It's a beautiful
giant fountain in a tiny little square.
And it's got like a
big basin,
an amphitheater facing it, sort of thing.
Yeah,
it's like a big...
and it's got a huge pool.
Yeah,
right. That fills probably half the square.
Sure,
right. And people gather around. It's super tight. You have your picture taken. You throw in your coin over your shoulder.
Sure.
Well, this money, I don't know how many people ever stop to think, whatever happens to that money?
Right.
Like every once in a while I'll see a fountain or whatever and be like, where does that money go?
What is going on there?
Where do you think the money has traditionally gone?
For the Trevi?
Yeah.
I'm going to say the church. I'm just going to say the Catholic Church owns it.
The city owns it.
Oh, okay.
But the city has traditionally donated the money to Catholic charities.
Okay. Sure.
Right?
That seems right for Rome.
Right. To the tune of €1.5 million every year.
Amazing.
Right? The mayor and city council have approved a change to redirect those funds to pay for basically just roads. Because their roads are in
more
such terrible shape. Right. But obviously there's been serious outcry.
Yeah. Well, and
obviously Catholic Charities is pissed.
The tourists who are coming there use the roads.
Uh-huh.
This is all tourist money.
Right.
It seems smart.
Right. I would say that the tourists, I don't know, like money going to charity versus money going to roads. who knows how tourists might feel about that shift?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I do think though that if it is the city's money, then the city should be able to use it however it sees fit, especially when their roads are completely falling apart. Yeah, so now Catholic Charities has started an online campaign basically trying to shame the city because they want their fucking money.
Right.
That's our money.
Right. Because if there's one thing we know about Catholicism, they don't have enough money.
Not enough.
There's just
never enough.
There's just not enough money.
Right.
Not everything is decked out in gold yet. In Rome.
No, I know. Let's see. The fountain is like 300 years old. If you like classic movies, maybe you've seen Three Coins in the Fountain from the 1950s.
Yep.
A little romantic comedy.
Yeah.
There was also an Italian film that's really quite famous, La Dolce Vita. And that's when the actress famously wades through the fountain and screaming out and
collects $1 million worth of coins.
Yeah, like I wonder how often they go scooping through there, and they probably leave enough,
right,
so that it encourages more.
Yeah, do they collect like daily, nightly?
They must be in there like once a week
at least.
Must.
If there's $1 million of coins a year, they got to be collecting that daily.
Well, yeah, okay,
or every other day or something.
Let's take a look real quick.
We're going to run the
calculator
math
out. Yeah.
We're going to run the figures, people.
Yeah, we didn't plan ahead.
$1 million.
They get over $4,000 or 4,000 euro a day. 4,100 euro every day.
They got to clean it out every day. Probably twice a day.
Otherwise, like, you would think that like
there'd be more coin than water.
Holy crap! Well, and otherwise, like people poor would come through and collect up their own.
Well, sure, and they probably do, and there's plenty to go around.
I wonder, like they must send out like an armored vehicle.
Yeah,
I bet like Brinks shows up and with a shovel.
Yeah. If this were in the U.S., there would be a campaign to try and just put it into a box instead of into the fountain. Just put it over here. Well, there you go. How romantic. Throwing coins in the fountain for the roads.
Yeah.
I'm going to take us for our last little thing to Moscow.
Ooh.
Where, as you know, we have reported this before. There's been a crackdown on religion. Specifically, there was one religion that back in, when was that? It was back in 2017.
Okay.
The Russian Supreme Court decided that there was a particular faith group. Extremists.
Oh, no.
Extremists so bad that they became on par, basically, with the ruling from the Supreme Court. They were basically placed on a par with like Islamic State.
Oh my God!
And like neo-Nazis.
Okay.
The Jehovahs-Witnesses. I don't know if you remember us reporting that, but yes, the J-Dubs.
Oh no, they're just annoying. They don't do any what harm do they?
Extremists.
I mean, there's that whole like they jeopardize their members' health by like not letting them get blood transfusions and weird shit like that. But like they're harmless. They just go door to door.
Well, so
they're annoying.
Back in 2016, legislation was approved by one Vladimir Putin and the rest of the legislature that outlawed missionary work by like Mormons, Baptists, that sort of thing.
Right.
But, I mean, that tends to be different because the way that the Mormons and the Baptists do it, they send people from one country into another country.
Correct.
Whereas with the J-Dubs, they go to their own neighborhoods. They bother the people in their own hood.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's a little bit different. So anyway, that was outlawed too. and they've been scooping up J-dubs and putting them in jail.
Oh, my God.
Pulling people out of their homes at times.
Oh, my God.
Sometimes with FSB agents with the police snatching people up.
Wow.
So recently, just in the last little bit, Vladimir himself, Mr. Putin, had an interesting quote, which was basically that he didn't know why they were persecuting Jehovah's Witnesses, and they're just other Christians. Somebody should look into that.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is pretty funny. It's basically, here's what he said, quote, Jehovah's Witnesses are Christians too. I don't quite understand why they are persecuted, so this should be looked into. This must be done. He's claiming he didn't know about it, which is funny because a couple years ago, when Angela Merkel from Germany came in and talked to them, he said brought up the subject to him to his face a couple years ago. He knows about it. Of course he does. Of course he does.
Right.
But yeah, he played it off like, I don't know why they're being, they're fine. So anyway, apparently there's a lot of hope now that some of these people will be released from prison. Because, these people are going to, they could go to jail for 10 years. And Russian jail, I'm imagining, you don't want to go to.
Gulag.
But they're going
gulags.
They're going to for up to 10 years or more for the crime of what? Of going door to door.
Being really annoying.
Of being annoying.
Being really annoying, Dan.
Distributing propaganda pamphlets.
Being annoying and self-righteous.
Yeah, but everybody does that. I wish that were a crime. Wouldn't that be nice?
That would be a great crime, yeah.
Ugh.
Oh, they're stupid little packets. They're the pamphlets. Oh, my God. They're just so ridiculous.
But so harmless.
Harmless.
So harmless.
At the end of the day, completely harmless.
Yeah.
Annoying.
Yeah. Patriarch Kirill, who's the head of the Russian Orthodox Church, has not commented on the crackdown. But senior officials of the church basically have said that the Jehovah's Witnesses manipulate people's senses and destroy minds and families.
What?
I got news for you, kiddo. That's what religions do. They manipulate brains. That's all they do.
Oh, no.
So,
All right.
Well, if you would like to manipulate our brains, you can do so, friends, by writing into us, podcast.
Wow.
Just keep going until you come back around to it. And then delete all that and just write to podcast@thankgodimatheist.com.
Or you can call and leave us a voicemail message.
Sure.
Telephone number is 424-666-8442.
Yeah, go to the Facebook page, facebook.com/TGIAtheist. Click that like button.
And while on Facebook, search for the TGIA Members Only Lounge and request to join. It is a closed group, but we will let you in. Check us out on Reddit and Twitter. Why not?
Sure.
Thank God I'm Atheist is the handle on both those. Hey, Dan.
Yes, sir.
Mark Taylor.
Yeah,
He's the fireman prophet.
he's the
right?
prophet. He's he's the one that they made that movie about.
Oh my God! Really?
Yeah, they made
Which one?
Liberty University, I think, made a whole movie about him.
No way.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, he's a real kook.
He,
I
I believe the word you're looking for is prophet of God. He is a prophet of God.
Yeah, no. I mean, clearly not. However,
How dare you?
he has something to say about. Well, I mean, he's one of these people. He really wants to see Clinton locked up.
Oh yeah,
lock her up. Right?
Well, here's the thing. He's not just a conspiracy theorist. His conspiracies come from Jesus. So he knows what's actually going to be happening. He's got, at one point in this clip, he holds up, you won't see it because this is an audio format, but he holds up what looks like a sort of fake leather binder of prophecy.
Oh, yeah.
In which he has written down what the Lord, and there's one point, don't miss this moment where he says, I mean, Jesus told me. I
told me.
There's this moment where where God says, anyway, let's listen to what he has to say.
Here we go.
We're going to have civil unrest whether we like it or not. So that's coming. That's coming. It's just a matter of how bad is it going to be. You know, they're trying to educate people on what's coming. If you notice on Fox the other night, they played something about the Clintons and you know, all their stuff that's been going on for years. Now, why are they doing that? Why all of a sudden would Fox do that? It's because simple fact is they're trying to prepare the people for what's coming. They're trying to educate people that these are criminals. These guys are not patriots. They have committed treasonous acts, and they're going to go down. Now, we've got to be careful how we do it. There's a fine line, like you said, because the civil unrest could get really bad, and it turns into a civil war, which is what we don't want, because you don't want someone like the UN or you want some other foreign country coming here and invading us right in the middle of a civil war. So this is where we got to be careful. But the bottom line is this. I got this folder right here. It's full of prophetic words that God has given me. They're God's words. I give all the glory to God for it, the Lord Jesus himself. But the Lord said justice is coming. This is what people have to stand on. Justice is coming. I have said in there that the Clintons were going to go down, or God has said that the Clintons were going to go down. Obama was going to go down. It doesn't matter how long it takes. The bottom line is it has been spoken. It has been decreed. It's done and over with. It's already happened in the spirit. Now it just has to manifest in the natural. So people just need to sit back and relax and get your popcorn. Watch the show, folks.
Get your popcorn, Frank.
Oh, my. Well, yeah, because it's going to be quite the show.
It will be quite the show.
You know, if the Christians are right about half the shit that they like to talk about, it is going to be quite the show.
I keep waiting. I keep having to throw away popcorn.
Every night.
I keep popping it.
Pop it.
I'm like, ready. Mm-hmm. And then they keep not arresting the people that are supposed to get
arrested. What you should do, Dan, is you should get one of those big bags that they have at the store that's all sealed up. It's pre-popped popcorn.
Yeah. Right? It's just not as good.
And you just keep it tucked away. Yeah. And then when Armageddon starts or the rapture has happened, you can just be like, oh, this is fun.
It is interesting to me. I do not have a whiteboard big enough to figure out why the fuck these people are still so focused on Hillary and Obama and all of these sort of now basically irrelevant figures.
Right.
Except that they can't be irrelevant because these guys already made too many prophecies about them.
Right.
So they can't have become irrelevant. Because the prophecies need to come true.
Well, the left also has not put up the next boogeyman.
The next sacrifice. Well, what Pelosi's back, so they can crucify her a little bit, and that Ocasio-Cortez.
Yeah,
she's a hot ticket.
Yeah, it's all yet to be seen exactly what they can do with them.
Right.
They're
not as good. It's not as good.
We need someone to run for president who is just gonna be a real lightning rod.
Who's gonna ruin the whole world?
Yeah,
the way they do. Oh my goodness. Well, we had some folks write into us, and I'm going to read what they wrote now.
Please do.
That's the thing that we do on this show.
That's how it works.
This is from Michael. Mm-hmm. In episode 370, you guys were talking about all the books they were using to swear people in for the new congressional session. You remember that?
Yeah.
Michael says, couldn't they have just gotten an iPad and then loaded it up with whatever ridiculous book people want to swear on?
I love that.
Do you think people would object to that?
Kindle version.
Right. I'd like to see someone swear on a digital Bible just to see the ridiculous outrage from the fundamentalists. I want a Wonder Bible. Have you seen the Wonder Bible?
No.
It's a little thing that they've been marketing to old people, which is basically it's an audio Bible. It's a device that is an audio Bible.
Mm-hmm.
These people have never heard apparently of an iPod or
right.
They probably have a device that could do it already.
But it's
the Wonder Bible, and it's it's like a little plastic thing. It's like a speak and spell. only for your Bible.
It's like, it has a little mechanical voice.
I don't know what the voice is. I want it. Anyway.
And it came to pass.
Yeah. So anyway, that exists. But yeah, you could load it. Here's the problem with loading up the iPad and just everybody putting their hand on the iPad is that somebody could secretly load, I don't know, the Satanic Bible onto there.
Anything. Yeah.
Anything could be on there.
Somebody should just like...
Dianetics.
Yeah. It could all be loaded up.
It could all be loaded on there, and then you're swearing on all of them.
Or you just do nothing and you say that it's a secret.
Right.
Like, I'm not telling you what book I swore in on.
Right.
How dare you? That's my I swore in on an iPad.
I
love my iPad.
I want to swear in on all the books. So we're going to go over, I'm going to swear in on the roof of the Library of Congress.
I'm going to put my hand on the top of the roof.
On the roof.
And then we'll put my...
then, yeah.
Yeah, no, that is funny. I think that's some good stuff right there.
There you go. This is from AC. Hey guys, I was just listening to episode 370. That's the same episode. But you mentioned that most folks are excited when a church service is shortened. We were talking about the Mormons.
Yeah.
Cutting it down from 3 to 2 hours.
Still horrible.
Still 2 hours too long. I don't doubt that it's true for some. In fact, I know it to be true. But there's another reality for others I wanted to share with you. Late in my teenage years, I found myself dating a Pentecostal man and therefore regularly attending a Pentecostal church. Oh, you poor thing. Typically, there would be one service Sunday morning and another Sunday night. Each would run about 3 to 4 hours. What? Oh. And because my ex was a leader in the church, we tended to remain at the church between services, too.
Oh, my God.
That's an entire day gone. And keep in mind, I failed to mention an equally long service on Wednesday nights, a youth group gathering on Tuesdays, and music practice on Thursday, and a variety of special events, sometimes going on for hours or even days at a time.
I didn't think anybody was worse than the Mormons. Wait, you just said days?
Yeah.
Days at a time?
Yeah. That's what it says.
Holy shit.
That's what AC says.
Ugh.
That's yeah.
Anyway,
That's
the worst.
I never grew to like these long services. Really? Shocking. I hated them, actually. But everyone around me loved the time they got to spend in the house of the Lord. Because of that strain, I felt broken somehow, and I became very good at pretending so no one would find out just how broken I was.
Huh.
Let me tell you something, AC. They were pretending too.
Yeah.
Everyone was pretending. There was one person who was actually into it, and the rest just knew that they were supposed to put on the show of being into it. You weren't the only one. You weren't the odd person out. You were just one of the ones pretending. Anyway, there you go.
Oh, golly.
Yeah.
That sucks.
That's a lot of church. Let me tell you something.
That's too... Oh, God.
1 hour at church? Plenty. More than enough.
Too much still.
You'll achieve all of the goals. But you know what?
You can't get it done in a half hour. Whatever you need to, you know.
Well,
no. What else do you need to do?
You got to put on a full hour show. Let me tell you something.
No. You do a quick little prayer. You sing a song. You eat some bread.
Yeah. But here's what I'm saying: is that you do all those things. But you need to make it last at least the hour so that when you pass around the collection plate, people feel like they got what they paid for.
No.
Because the whole thing is about that collection moment.
Yeah.
You got to build it. You got to get it all. Did you see the video? There's a video that went around recently, just the last week or so, of a guy. And the caption said, "Lord help my brother, my cousin. He played the Jeopardy theme during tithes." And he's doing it in a lovely way. It's like, you know, he's clearly a very talented organist,
right?
But yeah, he's playing the Jeopardy theme.
Oh boy,
gently, quietly, as they pass around the collection plate. I thought that was hilarious.
Wow,
the Lord's waiting, people. Yeah, very funny. Do we have any voicemail or people?
We do not.
Okay, but we got some folks to thank.
We do. We have 2 new patrons on Patreon.
Well, I'm going to start us off because we have one new patron on PayPal as well.
No way.
So thanks so much to Logan, a new faithful subscriber.
Yeah.
On the PayPal.
Absolutely.
And then you've got some folks over there on the Patreon.
We do indeed. We have one new faithful listener, Ben.
Thank you,
you
Ben.
very much.
Hurrah.
And we have a new venerable listener.
Oh,
Kathy.
Kathy, peace be upon you.
So thank you so much to both of you. If you'd like to join these kind folk, just head on over to our website, thankgodimatheist.com.
Yeah.
And click on the support tab.
It'll get you to all the places you need to go.
Absolutely. And then, of course, we have our top donor, our Lord and Savior. She reigns supreme.
Oh.
Jenny!
Blessed be she. In the name of the people and the things and the stuff. Amen.
Thank you. Dan.
Oh, yes?
Art.
I feel alarmed.
Art, Dan.
Art. Wherefore art thou, Dan?
Yes. Sometimes art dips into, oftentimes, art can dip into religious themes.
Well, here's the thing. For many centuries,
Yeah.
all art was basically about religion.
Yeah.
But on the pro side.
Oh, yeah, they loved
Well,
it.
because it was commissioned by the church.
Right. Or wealthy patrons who
Right.
wanted themselves,
Who wanted
into
to
some
impress the
little-
church so that they, it's all a power game.
Yeah, they'd have a nice little triptych thing made up.
Oh, sure.
They put their family on one corner of it, and then they put some nice little religious-y scene in the middle.
There you go.
And then somebody else who they kind of like over on the other side. And it was all glorious.
Sounds super classy.
They were classy. Classy people. These were,
Whatever. Here's what happened, though. At some point, the church stopped commissioning art so much, and also artists wanted to kind of just comment on the world that they saw without being tied down to having to be nice to the religions.
Right.
It turns out that the artist's job is all about commenting on the world around them.
Yeah.
Not just describing it.
Right.
In paint or in sculpture or in whatever the medium.
Right.
But also commenting on it.
Yeah, they've carved out a really nice little place for themselves
Sure, yeah.
as artists.
Yeah. Yeah. We as artists have done this.
Yes.
We are all, you and I are artists too.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Not so much the fine arts.
Well, I would say theater is
I don't know.
okay.
Not very fine.
Okay. Anyway,
I know. My degree was in the College of Fine Arts too, Dan.
yes. Yes, you're a filmmaker. I'm a practitioner of theater.
Indeed.
Anywho, every now and then somebody gets pissed. And that's a delightful moment for me,
Right.
personally as an artist. It's funny how many clergymen I have played in my acting career.
Oh.
A number, a
Really?
lot of clergymen. It
Really?
keeps happening to me.
It's going to only happen more, Dan.
Well, yes, indeed. But sometimes people get pissed, not at me, obviously, but at artists in general.
Right. I mean, who could be pissed at one of Dan Beecher's performances?
No, it's
impossible.
It's too good to be angry. Anyway, recently there have been a couple of things. For instance, there's a big kerfuffle in Israel, where
Really? In Israel?
yes,
A kerfuffle has happened in Israel.
you wouldn't imagine that it was even
It's like
possible.
The land of kerfuffles.
It is the land of kerfuffles, and one of the most recent ones is about a sculpture that's in a museum, and this sculpture is titled McJesus. And whatever your brain came up with when you heard the words McJesus, that's correct. You correctly identified what this sculpture is.
Maybe.
Because it's basically a Jesus, it's a crucifix, a giant wooden cross onto which is nailed Ronald McDonald. Or rather, it's actually, when you look at it, it's very clearly a Jesus statue that has been painted.
Been dressed up as.
To look as Ronald McDonald.
Okay, so it's got the big red wig.
Yeah, the hair has been painted bright red. The
Okay.
face has been put into clown white with clown makeup on, a red nose and a mouth. And then, the body has been painted with red and white stripes and a yellow sort of jumpsuit.
Sure, yeah.
Anyway,
It sounds beautiful.
he's hanging on the wall at the as part of a sacred goods exhibit at the Haifa Museum of the Arts in Haifa.
So why, like, who's upset about this? Because, like, I don't know, it seems pretty awesome.
Yeah. Well, okay, so it's making a comment. We could, as art critics, one could say, we're not art critics, but an art critic could say what this is doing is making a comment on consumerism, rampant consumerism, and sort of the lionizing and maybe even the worship, the fetishizing of consumerism.
Or the commoditization of religion.
But it goes both ways.
Yeah.
You could say both things.
Yeah.
However, what you wouldn't say if you know anything about art,
Right.
is that this is attacking Christianity.
Right.
But that's how the Christians of Israel are taking it,
no.
and so they are livid about it. There were violent clashes. A couple of
Oh my,
cops
really?
got injured by stones being thrown.
No.
Which seems to be the violent clash weapon of choice in Israel, in that part of the world.
There must be a lot of stones available.
Yeah, it's a stony land.
I would have a hard time finding a stone, Dan, if I was angry at something that was going on. Do you know even where you'd go find a stone?
Here in Utah?
Like, let's say you're like downtown, and all of a sudden you're pissed off because something just happened.
Yeah, I would find stones in someone's landscaping. People put, like, river rock and whatever in their landscaping. That's what I would go to.
suppose. Or
Or
it would
go
run out quickly, though.
Go up into the mountains or whatever. Anyway, it's part of this exhibit. The minister of something or other, I don't know what her title is. The culture minister, Israel's culture minister, Miri Regev, said she received numerous complaints about a, quote, grave insult to the Christian community's sensibilities.
Oh, boy.
I'm wondering why the McDonald's community isn't rising up. The McDonald's loving community.
I know.
Anyway, the Christians were saying that. So she was going to try and turn it over, or get rid of it.
No. You need to add to it. Have a little grimace that you have that's sad at the bottom, like Mary, right? You have grimace.
You need a full pietà. Is what you need.
The grimace is holding
Grimace
the dead
holding
Jesus.
dead Jesus weeping, while Mayor McCheese looks on in sorrow.
Oh, no. And then you have little, like, cherub versions of the
Fry Guys.
The Fry Guys, yeah.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Judas the Hamburglar is off twisting his mustache. Anyway, I'm very happy to report that the museum didn't relent on this, and what they did agree to do was put up a sign that said, if you have delicate sensibilities, just be aware there's a...
Is that how they phrased it?
I'm pretty sure. If you're going to be a titty baby about it, you probably shouldn't walk into this room.
Oh, good Lord.
But, I mean, what we wanted to talk about, though, is this concept of what is or isn't on the table when it comes to art.
It's all on the table, Dan.
And there's the end of the discussion. Great.
Why is anything off the table?
Well, okay. So the question is,
for you, what's off the table?
well, there are genuine questions about, like, what if you're making a statement about, if you're making commentary, do you remember years and years ago there was a exhibit in New York, and there was one piece where there was a picture of Mary, maybe, or Jesus, and they'd thrown elephant dung at it or something. I don't know.
Okay.
The question is, I don't know. You know what I mean? It's like, I think it should probably all be on the table. But
Right.
when you're offending people so much, if you did an image of Muhammad,
Right.
which is completely against the rules of Islam,
Right.
and as we all know, Islamic folk, Muslims in general, tend to take that kind of shit lying down. They tend to be very passive about insults.
No, they.
I don't know.
We all have to follow their rules.
Right. I guess that's part of the thing, is that, no, we don't have to all follow your rules. But we've been coddling religions for so long that they feel totally fine saying, you're not allowed to say this about us. Right. You're not allowed to show this, to make a comment about us.
It offends my religious sensibilities, which is a crime in some parts of the world.
In lots of parts of the world. It is
insane to me.
It's a crime, and you can go to jail, which is all the more reason in the parts of the world where it's not to do it.
Absolutely.
I will say this, as an artist, I would think twice about painting a picture of Muhammad.
I know.
And putting it up.
I know.
Because they're violent.
Because we could, like, dress you up as Muhammad. This is actually a really good idea. Let's do this. Let's dress you up as Muhammad and parade you around town.
Frank,
and let's see what happens.
Frank will never miss an opportunity to put my life on the line for art.
And I'll film it. I'll have a camera.
Right.
And we'll just see what happens.
Right. And the whole time I'll be pointing at him and being like, he's the artist. I'm just the medium. He's the artist.
What could possibly go wrong?
Right. Well, the thing is that nothing should go wrong. Because art is supposed to make comment on reality and on life. You know, at this moment in time, that's what you're supposed to be doing as an artist.
Yeah.
And art, if it offends, great. Then it's started the conversation.
Right. Okay, I want to back up just a little bit, because how would anybody even know that you were dressed up as Muhammad? There's no pictures of him.
Right. You have to just wear a sign that says,
I'm Muhammad.
I am Muhammad.
I'm Muhammad.
Yeah, a little name badge. Hello.
My name is Muhammad.
I am the Prophet Muhammad.
Yes, that one.
Peace be upon me. Yeah, it's so funny. I mean, I get it. It's like, yes, you're offended because this is something sacred to you.
Right.
And we're not treating it in a sacred way.
Right.
But it's not sacred to us. You can't require me to take it as sacred, the thing that you think is sacred.
But isn't that what we've kind of carved out as a society? Is that we in order to, that's like the PC rules are that we don't.
Right.
And I'm not saying that we're necessarily PC, but like, in polite company, this is how you communicate.
And here's the thing.
And not communicate. And
here's the thing. I actually agree with that. I think that in an interpersonal relationship, in a world outside of the context of something like art, we should honor people's what people deem as sacred or what people think is important to them. To the degree that we can.
Right. So art should not be PC.
Art is the opposite of that. And that's the point, is that, like, yes, an individual should avoid being a dick. Mm-hmm. But in art's supposed to be a dick sometimes. Mm. And there's supposed to be a difference between how
space for it.
How we conduct ourselves in a society and the artistic space.
So what we need is for everybody just to get on board with that.
Yeah.
And not be dicks when we're dicks.
I don't think that's how we're supposed to... That's not how I would word this. The way that I would word it is, in order to carve out that space for artists to make that comment, and for commentators, for people like, Christopher Hitchens or whatever, for social commentary to have an impact, we should have a social contract in place where everybody says, okay, to each other in society, we're going to treat each other really well.
Right.
And then there was a space where we're going to say, but also we need to talk about this stuff.
Right.
There are spaces carved out
right.
where people can be, where criticism is valid. But
and so somebody gets up and part of their big public commentary, they say something outrageous and awful. And then as a society, we shout them down.
As a society, we say, you know what? You have gone too far. And
we will no longer watch your stuff.
Yeah.
And Netflix, cancel it.
Take it down.
Take whatever that is, get it off.
I don't know. I mean, like, we don't have to say that. We can just say
That's where we're at.
We can just not watch it.
Right. But that is where we are, right? Like, like after Louis C.K.'s stuff came out,
right?
FX took his show off.
Right. And I'm okay with that too. Like, we as a society have to have boundaries.
Right.
But it's, the artists are the ones who push us to determine what those boundaries are.
Yeah, no, that is true. And I mean, what Louis C.K. did was obviously not in the context of his art.
Right. He was taken down because of something because of breaking the social rules, the rules of the social boundaries, not because of what his art did.
So what about an example of somebody who's, Kathy Griffin. Right? She holds up the head, decapitated head of Donald Trump.
Right.
And she no longer gets to host the New Year's Eve with, on CNN.
Which is, there you go. In that case, I think it's not that there can't be consequences for artists. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Right.
But we have to allow artists to be able to do whatever they're going to do. Now, I don't think Kathy.
I would love it if Kathy Lee Gifford had.
Wouldn't that have been amazing?
She just is on there, just drunk as a skunk on the Today Show.
Kathy Griffin, is that who we're talking about?
Yes.
Or
is it Griffith?
I don't know.
I have a hard time with her last name.
Anywho, holding up an image, tweeting an image of yourself holding up the decapitated head of the leader of the country should be fine. She shouldn't have received. Honestly, there shouldn't be any consequence to that.
Well, CNN should have just been like, I was on her own time.
Yeah, and she's making a social commentary. She's not, you know what I mean? Like, she didn't assault anyone. She did this as an artist, and I think that should have been well within her. There shouldn't have been any social consequences for that,
right?
Because we should all appreciate when someone goes against our leaders. That's a thing that you're supposed to do. Anywho, I don't know. Maybe her crime was that she did it prematurely. She should have waited until he had actually done a thing.
Yeah.
Before she did that.
I think now it'd probably fly.
Yeah. Honestly. Maybe not her holding up the decapitated head. Maybe,
she should just keep doing it. That's just until it wears it out.
Yeah, that's true. She should.
That's a true commentary on Trump.
She should walk around with that head in her hand as she goes to the salon in LA or whatever.
People would just be like, "Come on, Kathy. Come on. This is getting old."
No, it's Donald. It's just my thing.
No, but so to do something that's offensive with the Donald,
right,
until the point that it no longer has any meaning,
right,
would be a wonderful commentary.
True.
On the Donald.
Yeah.
But
anyway, hey, look. We are not the final arbiters on what isn't acceptable in art.
No.
I want to hear from you guys. If y'all have any input as to what you think what part art plays.
Yeah.
And maybe you think you should be allowed to say anything you want in polite society. You're wrong, but maybe you think so. Write into us, podcast@thankgodimatheist.com.
Or call and leave us a voicemail message. The telephone number is 424-666-8442.
Yeah, hey, go to the Facebook page, facebook.com/TGIAtheist, and click that like button.
And while on Facebook, search for the TGIA Members Only Lounge and request to join. It is a closed group that keeps your identity private, and that's what makes it great.
Yeah, and speaking of Facebook, thanks so much to Mackenzie for keeping that Facebook page going. She's amazing. And thanks also to Danny and Sarah for being mods on the Members Only Lounge.
And a big thanks goes out to the Red Rock Hot Club for the use of their music, and also to Gordon Johnston for the use of his music.
Yes, indeed. Thanks again to our patrons, and thank you, dear listener, for tuning in.
Bye-bye.